Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Stacy. I am the dyer of Stressed Its Yarns, and I'm coming to you from Detroit, Michigan, where I live with my husband Doug, our daughter Eliza, and our pug Esther. Today is October 28th. It is a Friday. Doug is currently coming home from dropping Eliza off at preschool, so you might see him walk in the store here. I am in a different location because I am neck deep in yarn for the winter countdowns. That should be going out in the next 2 weeks, which I'll get to in a second. But I couldn't record in our shared office. So I decided to record in our dining room, which I love, and I love the light of. So we're just going to get to it. So where I've been, it has been incredibly hectic with the start of the school year in September. Eliza starting preschool, which unfortunately is not going as well as we had hoped. So we are navigating a bunch of stuff. And everything has wait lists and like any resources we can use, it's 6 to 12 months out, and it's just very frustrating. So it's been a lot of that and not feeling, I'm just exhausted at the end of the day. And then, so Eliza, where am I going with this? So we'll go chronologically. So start of school, not going super well, figuring that out. And then Doug and I went to New York to celebrate Jacqueline of Jacqueline Salem on YouTube. Used to be Brooklyn Knit Folk, but it's Jacqueline Salem now. And she does amazing vlogs and stuff. And I'm very lucky to call her my friend. And she invited us to her wedding to Andrew. And it was such a magical time. And Doug and I got to go on a trip to New York by ourselves to celebrate this amazing wedding. And it was such a special time. It's where Doug and I went on our honeymoon. So it was just very special. And we got to do a bunch of stuff that we love doing and have also never done together. So that was really great. And then about 2 weeks after we got home, Eliza got really sick and we kept her home one day from school, and it just got progressively worse over the weekend. And we ended up having to take an emergency room trip at 11:30 at night because her fever spiked to 103 when it was about 100.9 most of the weekend. And it spiked overnight. So we took her into the emergency room, got her checked out, got her on an IV for dehydration, and had to get transferred to another hospital because they didn't have a pediatric center. And so that was a whole thing, but she had RSV and pneumonia from the RSV, so that was very scary and not fun at all, but she did incredibly well at the hospital, and we got to go home after 2 days, which was very lucky. I know a lot of you are also dealing with your kiddos getting sick, and RSV is going on around like crazy this year, and it's really bad. I have friends here in Michigan that have had their kids get it, and I also have friends in West Virginia where I went to school who have gotten it, and it's just not a good time all around. So if you're dealing with that, I'm so sorry. It's awful. Especially when you're used to your kid like bouncing around and just being happy, and watching them just lay just miserable is horrible. And then after we got home from the hospital, I started feeling sick, right? Like, it's going to happen. You're going to hold your sick child. Doug and I tried really hard, like the days that he was holding her, I wasn't really around. And then at the hospital, he spent the first night there because only one parent was allowed at a time. So he spent the night, and I came that next morning once visiting hours started. And then I spent the entire day there with her and slept over. And then he came in the morning. But she was coughing directly into my mouth, like kids like to do. So there was nothing that I could do about it. So I also got RSV, and it was quite a time to be alive. It was awful. It was really bad. I got really, really sick. So that was 2 weeks where we just couldn't do anything. So that's why I'm a little bit behind on the winter countdown calendars, and I hope you can understand that, but they're so good. They're so good. The patterns that are coming with the calendar, the color palette that I have created with this calendar, not to like toot my own horn, but it's so good. And the thing that I love about it is it looks good as a whole, but there are also like color stories within the palette that I'm so proud of. So they're coming. This is hopefully the last week that I'm like scanning and wrapping yarn, and then next week it's all about assembling the boxes and getting everything, all of the little extra goodies packaged and everything just put together in the box and shipped out. So I'm hoping everybody's orders will be out in the next 2 weeks. That feels very doable. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but I mean, life. There's no way I can know what's going to happen in May when stuff goes on sale. And that's another reason why I'm never doing this again, because life is just too unpredictable with a toddler, and she's kind of more of a kid now, right? But life is just too unpredictable. So no big commitments next year with the yarn. Yeah, so that's what's been going on. And now we're just trying to get back into the groove. And yeah, I've just been any spare moment, I have been dyeing and twisting and packaging. So I'm very excited for this to be over, because I just want to sit and knit and go rock climbing and do all of those things. So yeah, but it should be done in the next 2 weeks. All right, I've talked enough about that. Let's talk about why you're here. What have I been knitting? So let's talk about what I've knit over the months of September and October, because I mean, October has come to an end. So the first thing is I have finished my 5th Half and Half triangles wrap. This is the Half and Half triangles wrap by Purl Soho. It is a free pattern. There are 2 different sizes, a large and a larger version. I always knit the largest version, which for me, so it calls for 3 skeins, but I always use 2.5-ish. So yeah, I usually have about 40 to 50 grams of my cake left when I'm done. I used the colorways Butterscotch Yellow, which was gone for quite a while, and they have brought it back on the Purl Soho website. So if you've been looking for this colorway, which is like this orangey gold situation, it is on the website. And then my other color is Lavender Opal, this beautiful dusty lavender gray situation. I'm not going to put it on. I feel like I've talked about these ad nauseum. I also have a tutorial for how I do my half and half wraps, and I have gotten quite a lot of questions where people are telling me I'm not following the pattern with my wraps and turns and I'm doing them wrong. I have made 5 half and half wraps, and they have all turned out fine. And if it's not the wrap and turn that is in the pattern, I'm sorry, but that's the way that I've done it for 4 of them, because I did German short rows for 1. And it works out perfectly fine. If you're looking for the wrap and turn in the pattern, I'm sure you could find a tutorial of a different wrap and turn. But I just wanted to put together a tutorial of how I make mine. So that's that. And yes, I have seen the striped version. No, I'm not planning on knitting one. It's a little too busy for my color palette and my wardrobe. I know I would never wear it, and these are very practical pieces of fabric for me. But if you wanted a half wrap and you're like, I could not knit something that large with only 2 colors, I think it's incredible. And it is very beautiful, and I've seen knitters who are making them and they are stunning. It's just not something I would enjoy knitting, and it's not something I would enjoy wearing. So I'm going to stick to my 2 colors, and yeah, so this is Purl Soho Linen Quill. I don't know if I said that, but yes, always in love with this. I know so many of you hate them and are sick of them, but I'm not, and I'm creating these for me, and it's okay to knit what you like if other people don't like it. Speaking of things people like to make fun of, I am drinking a venti cold brew with 1 pump of pumpkin spice. Because I love it. Okay, so speaking of half and half wraps, I have cast on my 6th one in new colors from Purl Soho's Linen Quill line. I forgot what this color is called. I think it's like burnt sienna. It'll be in the description box below this video. I will have all of my show notes, everything I talk about, yarns, patterns, links to patterns will go to Ravelry. Yes, so I'm at the very beginning stages. I'm in the middle of a row because these rows are long. And I think I cast on less stitches than the pattern calls for. It calls for 260. And I think I did 250 or 240. Yeah, I just wanted to see how I felt about it. So yes, this burnt sienna is this gold brown color, and then its partner color is the color of my dreams, and it is baked earth, which is this terracotta situation, which is my favorite color in the whole world. So this will be my half wrap, and I'm very excited about it. I'll talk about it as I knit more on it, but there are 2 projects that have taken over my heart. And where did I put them? I put them over here. So one you've seen before is my pressed flower shawl. So Amy Christoffers, who this pattern is designed by, has come out with 2 other pressed flower patterns since I cast this on. She's come out with a pressed flowers hat, and most recently and most intriguing is the pressed flowers cardigan. Very excited about it. So I do plan on casting that on probably this next year, but it made me want to pull out my pressed flowers shawl, and I've been working on it. I haven't had a ton of knitting time, but I have made quite a bit of progress. So here we are. It's the Pressed Flowers by Amy Christoffers, and I am using my hand-dyed yarn, Stress Knits yarn, in Sunflower is the main golden brown color, and then Palm Lines is this pale, barely there pink that kind of comes off creamy. And it gives me a lot of 70s grandma's Afghan vibes, which makes me happy. That's what I was going for. I do think I'm going to do an extra repeat or 2 of the main motif that I'm working on before I get to the border, where the flowers are a little bit more condensed, because I want this to be as big as possible. So here are the skeins. I just started skein number 2 of Sunflower, and I need to get my other skein of Palm Lines going. But that is my pressed flower shawl, and I love it. I am getting really motivated to knit on it because I really just want to wear it. It is a beautiful structure, that's not what I wanted to say. It's a beautiful fabric, and I'm very excited to wrap it around my neck when it's done. The other thing that has taken up quite a bit of my knitting time is my Easy V pullover by Caitlin Hunter. And here it is. So I forget which size I'm knitting. I'm either knitting 5 or 6. My whole goal with this is that it was kind of slouchy, maybe a little off the shoulder. I don't know, I'm very into it. So the main yarn that I'm using is Ulysses from Rerum Natura in the Poivre Blanc color. It's just this beautiful oatmeal-y gray. And then the contrast colors are all Spincycle Dream State in Miss Me, which is the pink and green color. And then the yellow is Salty Dog, and the minty blue color is Deep Bump. So I'm very happy with how this has come together. I'm about, I don't know, like an inch and a half down the armhole, and I'm loving it. I haven't had a lot of knitting time. I would have assumed I was almost done with this by now, but again, I don't have the knitting time with the winter countdowns going on. So this will get more love in mid-November when everything is out of the house, and I cannot wait to wear it. That is everything I've been knitting. I do have some acquisitions, which is different for me because I don't tend to buy a lot of yarn, but I could not resist these. So first, I have a Sweaters Quantity 5 skeins. I'm not going to show all of them because they all look the same. This is the Magpie Spincycle collaboration, and this is the Castaway color. It's this like dirty gray brown color that I really actually, it's a lot like my flannel. I just really love this base, and I'm thinking about recasting on a Great Gingham with this yarn because the Brooklyn Tweed Loft just was not the right choice. Yeah, I think this might be that. I'm just gonna kind of sit on it and see what happens. And the other thing that I grabbed 4 skeins of this during Woolberry's Garden Walk collection because when I saw it, I knew I really wanted just a simple stockinette fingering weight sweater out of this yarn. This is the colorway Burrow from Woolberry Fiber Co. It's incredible. So there are sections of like this gold and these different deep pinks that borderline like a maroon. It's incredible. So this is destined to be a sweater. I got it on her berry cashmere base, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and her cashmere base is the tightly twisted one, which I really enjoy. So I'm just very excited. I think it's going to look amazing. It's just the most incredible, like there are like these little speckles of like deep green. It's just a very deep colorway and I love it so much. I'm also realizing my fingers are a little tinted yellow. I had a hole in my gloves when I was dyeing yarn yesterday, so forgive me for that. It's kind of gross. Yeah, so that's what I've bought. I do have some Spincycle coming. It's the exclusive La Mercerie colorway, which I'm very excited about. It's very beautiful. It's very like pinks and peaches and yellows, which is right up my alley. I think, nope, that's not Doug. Yeah, this is way shorter than I expected it to be, but I really haven't been doing much outside of the winter countdowns and getting that out to you because I want to get that out to you as soon as possible. I will say I am going to be shipping international orders first because they take the longest to get there, and then I will be shipping domestic orders after that. And I'm pretty confident that you'll get them before December 1st, and if not, shortly after. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. And I will have extras. But I am focusing right now on getting everything that has been pre-ordered out the door, and then I will start assembling the extras. I don't want to do it all at the same time because I want to make sure that like my time and focus is just getting these first ones out. So I'm actually thinking about putting them up for sale maybe after the 25th, maybe on the 26th. Maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, or maybe I'll put them up at the end of November. I don't know. I'll keep you updated on Instagram. That's the best way to follow along on what's going on with Stress Knits. Yeah, that's basically it. This feels very half, but I missed you and I wanted to give you an update on what's going on and what I've been working on because I've missed doing this for the past, I couldn't let another month pass because I missed September. I couldn't let another month pass before I talked to you about what's been going on because it's been a lot personally. And you know, sometimes that's just how life goes. So we're working through it. I feel very lucky to have the support system that we have, and my husband is wonderful and my family's wonderful. So it's just we're very lucky. It's just very hard right now, and that's okay. That's okay. I think that's everything. I don't think I have anything else. I'll talk more about things I want to knit, but I'm really focusing on clearing off my Easy V and my pressed flower shawl by the end of the year. That is my goal, is I want those things off my needles. And then I'm also probably going to start back up my Brioche-licious shawl, which is also being made out of Linden Quill. I've talked about it a few months ago, but I haven't touched it in a while, and I just found the project bag. So that's also something I would like to work on. I need to take Esther outside, and Doug is going to be home soon, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry it's been really quiet, but I really appreciate your support, and I will talk to you hopefully for a little bit longer next time.